What if the safest move you make this year is not a promotion, but a small project that pays you while you sleep? Most of us were taught to chase titles and a single paycheck. Keep your head down, show up on time, and everything will sort itself out. But life is noisier now. Jobs change, industries flip, rents climb. The people who sleep best are not always the highest paid at one place. They are the ones with options. They build a second engine, a side engine. And when that engine begins to hum, something else happens. Your confidence changes. You stop asking for permission to live the life you want. You design it. Today I want to show you how to do that in a way that is simple, honest, and fully yours. The book that inspired this conversation is Side Hustle by Chris Guillebeau, which invites us to turn an idea into income in 27 days. I am not here to repeat the book line by line. I want to pull the core ideas, add what I have learned from doing and teaching, and translate it for everyday life in America for anyone between 20 and 45 who wants more control. What you will hear is a blueprint you can start tonight. It will be familiar enough to feel doable and fresh enough to feel exciting. And if you are listening while driving or washing dishes, let the words sink in. You do not need a whiteboard, you need a decision. First, let us fix a common mistake. A side hustle is not the same thing as a side job. A side job pays you only for the hours you sell. If you stop, it stops. It is helpful when cash is tight. It can be noble and necessary. But a side hustle is built with an owner's mindset. It can grow without taking every ounce of your time. It creates an asset that keeps paying because you packaged value that people want. With a side job, someone else sets your price. With a side hustle, you set it. A side job is like calling a ride share so you do not have to squeeze onto a crowded bus. A side hustle is owning the car and the system that books the rides, even when someone else is driving. Let me show you what that owner mindset looks like. Imagine a rideshare driver in Dallas who treats his evening driving like a tiny company. He tracks pickup zones in a simple spreadsheet. He notes which events end around 10 and which bars spill out closer to 2. He learns that Sunday afternoon trips to the airport near Love Field spike after the early football game. He builds a repeatable route pattern, then teaches 2 other drivers his system for a commission. That is no longer a side job, that is a system that can scale. And he did not need permission, a fancy logo, or a perfect website. He needed curiosity, a tiny experiment, and a willingness to treat his time like a test lab. Here is another picture. A couple from Florida looks for beginner-friendly advice on cruising. They do not find answers to the questions first-timers ask. What do you pack for formal night if you are a t-shirt person? What time do you board if you want a quiet lunch? How do you avoid paying for things you will not use? They come home and build a site that answers the exact questions they could not find. They write short guides, post packing lists, and keep a simple email newsletter. Within months, the site pulls in enough traffic to earn around $3,000 a month, not because they discovered a secret, because they solved a real problem with practical kindness and organized it so that strangers could find it. Those 2 scenes lead to a rule I live by. Find a problem, solve it once, package the solution, charge fairly, repeat. Most people get stuck at step 1. We feel a twinge of friction in daily life and we shrug. We tell ourselves we will handle it tomorrow. Owner thinking does the opposite. It lanes in. Owner thinking says, if I am annoyed, others are annoyed. If I can reduce this pain for myself, I can probably reduce it for others. If I reduce it for others, I can earn. Think of your day like a treasure hunt. Where do you feel confused, delayed, or overwhelmed? Where do your friends text you for help? Where are you already the person who people ask for an opinion? The answers live in your phone and your calendar. Your skills and your story are the raw material. The market is simply the place where that material relieves someone else's pain. A quick test I use again and again is this: 3 circles. In the first circle, list problems you understand from the inside. Renting an apartment in a big city, managing food allergies with kids, training for a marathon without a gym, immigrating and navigating paperwork. In the second circle, list skills you already have: writing, editing reels, building Notion dashboards, fixing bikes, teaching beginners. In the third circle, list groups you enjoy serving: young professionals in Austin, moms who homeschool in Raleigh, indie artists in Detroit. Your first side hustle lives where these circles overlap. That intersection gives you empathy, competence, and an audience you like. And liking your audience matters because enthusiasm makes consistent work feel lighter. Let us put this into motion in a way that keeps you safe. You do not quit your day job, you run your life like a company. Your paycheck is the base product that covers overhead and buys you time. Then you launch a small project on top. In practice, that means you choose 2 short work blocks you can protect. Maybe from 6:30 to 8:30 in the morning, or from 8 to 10 at night, or a morning on Saturday and a long lunch on Wednesday. Put those in your calendar now. Those blocks are your factory. They are not negotiable. You will be tempted to scroll or to reorganize your notes forever. Do not. Use those hours to move the project one step at a time from idea to offer. What are those steps? I like a 4-week sprint that echoes the spirit of the 27-day promise without turning your life into a boot camp. Week 1 is about discovery and selection. Pick 3 problems you can solve without learning something brand new. Write a 1-sentence problem for each. For example, landlords keep half of renters' deposits because renters do not know how to document move-out conditions. Or restaurants in my neighborhood need better short-form videos that show their vibe before Friday night. Or new grads do not know how to write resumes that beat the bots. Now write 3 possible outcomes for each problem. Get back more of your deposit with a checklist and photo script. Book more tables with a weekly video playlist. Land interviews with a 2-page resume and an application tracker. Choose 1 problem and 1 outcome that feel both exciting and obvious. If you cannot explain it in one breath to a friend, it is too fuzzy. Week 2 is for building the smallest useful thing, not a perfect thing, a useful thing. If your offer is a service, create a clear 1-page sheet that explains what you do, what it costs, and what happens first. If your offer is a product, make the simplest version that delivers the outcome once. That might be a checklist with examples. A digital template with a short video walkthrough, a tiny mini course with 3 lessons. Use tools you already know, a docs file, a Canva template, a basic page on a simple site builder. Fancy slows you down, clarity speeds you up. Week 3 is validation. Talk to 5 people who match your audience and invite 1 to 3 people to buy at a founder rate. Charge real dollars, not coffee money, not exposure. If you are building a rental deposit toolkit, price a basic package and a premium package. Maybe $79 for the toolkit and $200 for a video walkthrough plus a review of the photo evidence before move out. If you are making weekly reels for local restaurants, keep it simple. 4 short clips per week for a month, edited and posted with captions for a flat fee. You will learn more from 3 paying customers than from 300 likes, and do not be shy about price. You are selling an outcome, not hours. When in doubt, ask what the problem costs if unsolved, then price at a fraction of that. Saving $600 in lost deposit makes $79 feel like a relief. Filling 8 more tables on a Friday makes a monthly content fee feel sane. Week 4 is refinement and systems. This is where your work starts to compound. Turn your steps into a checklist. Save your emails as templates. Name your files the same way. Use the same questions in kickoff calls. If you notice yourself repeating a task, make it easier the next time. The point is not to automate your whole life. The point is to remove friction so that your best energy goes to serving people. Systems are kindness to your future self. Systems also make it possible to raise your prices or to bring in help or to launch a second offer later. Underneath these 4 weeks is a deeper mindset shift. It will change the way you see money and meaning. You do not get what you want by demanding it. You get what you want by delivering what others need. That is not sainthood. That is practical empathy. If you are a renter, you know the fear of losing a deposit. If you are a small restaurant owner, you know the stress of a slow Thursday night. If you are a new grad, you know the feeling of sending resumes into a black hole. When you build with empathy, your copy writes itself. Your pitch becomes a promise. I will help you get more of your deposit back. I will help your tables fill up. I will help your resume get past the robot and in front of a human. Keep your focus there and people will feel safe paying you. Let me ground this with 5 American-style ideas you can start quickly. First, the move-out deposit kit. You create a 3-step process. Before you move in, document photos with time stamps. Before you give notice, run a repair checklist with prices from a local hardware store. On move-out day, follow a photo script and upload everything to a shared folder. Sell it as a digital product with a short video. Offer a premium version where you review the folder and flag missing shots. Partner with a tenants' rights group in your city. They get a referral fee. You get warm leads. Second, the service menu for neighborhood restaurants. Many owners are too busy to film, offer a monthly package, 1 hour on site every week. You capture raw clips, you edit short videos, you write captions in the owner's voice, you post on 2 platforms, you provide a simple 1-page report each Sunday night so the owner knows what worked. Keep your gear simple, your phone, a clip-on mic, a small tripod. You are not selling Hollywood, you are selling momentum. Third, a college to career toolkit for first-gen students. You build a 2-page resume format that plays well with applicant tracking systems. You record a walkthrough that explains each section with examples. You include a tracker that logs applications, follow-ups, and interview questions. Offer a one-on-one review for a premium tier. Partner with campus orgs and alumni groups who want to give their members a real advantage. Fourth, a quiet mornings club for parents. 2 mornings a week from 5:30 to 6:15, you host a live audio cowork session. You lead a short prompt, then everyone works on their personal project. You charge a small monthly fee. You share a simple progress sheet. Once a month, you bring in a guest to answer questions. Parents get a pocket of calm. You get recurring revenue. This is not a podcast. It is a tiny community that values consistency over noise. Fifth, beginner-friendly home gym map for apartment dwellers. Many complexes have small, awkward gyms. You create short routines that use the exact equipment most of these rooms have. You film in a real apartment gym, not a studio. Each routine is 20 minutes. No jumping, no shouting, clear form tips. Sell it as a pack with printable cards and a calendar. Offer a concierge tier where you customize a plan based on a quick survey. You notice the pattern. Real life, specific pain, clear outcome, kind packaging, fair price. And in each case, your first version can be built in a week of focused sessions. You do not need to wait for inspiration. You just need to choose which small door to open. Now let us talk about price for a moment, because that is where many people whisper instead of speak. With side jobs, your price is your hourly rate. With side hustles, your price is the value of the outcome. People pay to save time, reduce risk, or feel a change that matters. They pay to look good in front of their boss. They pay to avoid embarrassment. They pay to stop worrying at 2 in the morning. If you are embarrassed to say your price out loud, practice in a mirror. Say, the package that includes the toolkit and a live review is $200. Say it slowly. Then be quiet. Do not rush to discount. If the person is not your customer, bless them and move on. Your dignity is part of the product. You will also need to build simple boundaries. Decide when you answer messages. For example, weekdays from 9 to 5. Decide how you accept money. Use the simplest tool that lets you send an invoice and receive payment. Decide what happens if a client delays. Put it on your 1 page. These tiny decisions are the difference between chaos and calm. And if you think writing this down is overkill, remember this. The more you standardize, the less you have to think. The less you think, the better you can serve. The better you serve, the more you earn. I want to pause for a note on ethics because it matters. The best side hustles make life better for someone else. They do not trick people. They do not promise miracles. They do not steal. They transform your knowledge into a service that removes friction. To keep yourself honest, write a 1-sentence promise at the top of your project doc. I help first-time renters keep more of their deposit. I help local restaurants show their vibe so more people walk in. I help first-gen grads land interviews. That line is your compass. If a tactic breaks trust, do not use it. Long-term money is built on repeat customers and kind referrals. Let us zoom out and look at the journey you are about to take. You will start with a tiny thing. It will feel fragile. Friends will not understand at first. That is normal. Keep your day job. Let it fund this experiment. Protect your 2 work blocks each week. Ship 1 thing by the end of week 2. Charge money by the end of week 3. Systematize something by the end of week 4 if it works. Raise the price or add a second offer. If it does not, do not dramatize. You learned. Adjust and try again. Your optionality grows whether the first project hits or not. You are building the habit of making your own luck. There are traps to avoid, and I want to name them so you can walk around them with a smile. Trap 1 is trying to invent the next big thing. You do not need to be a genius. You need to be helpful. Helpful is rare enough. Trap 2 is building in silence for months. Your first customer should be a person, not an algorithm. Talk to real humans in your city. Knock on a door. Send a voice note. Ask for 5 minutes. Ask for 1 sale. Trap 3 is overspending early. You do not need a perfect brand kit. Use your name and a simple font. The problem you solve will be your brand. Trap 4 is quitting your job too soon. Stay, take the pressure off your project. When the side hustle earns several months of your base expenses consistently, then consider changes. Until then, keep the roof calm. Trap 5 is chasing trends instead of people. It is better to be the best answer for a small group than the 1,000th voice chasing a viral wave. Serve 1,000 people deeply and you have a business for life. Now let us talk about process, because process is how you create time you do not have. Before you make anything, write the steps once. For a content-based project like a YouTube show or a newsletter, your steps might look like this. Collect ideas in one note. Choose one idea on Sunday night. Outline on Monday morning, draft on Tuesday, edit on Wednesday, record on Thursday, publish on Friday. Each step has a checklist. Each checklist has templates. Your intro has a rhythm that works for your voice. Your descriptions follow a pattern. Your thumbnails share a look. As you repeat the cycle, you will see what takes too long. You will shave minutes. You will shave hours. Eventually, parts of the system can be delegated. Maybe you hire a student for editing. Maybe you share your process as a digital product itself. That is not far-fetched. People buy time. Give them back an afternoon and they will thank you. For service work, the process can be just as simple. Lead intake with 5 questions, a 1-page proposal, a kickoff call with a script, weekly updates that follow the same 3-bullet format, a wrap-up that includes what worked, what could be better, and a next step offer. The more predictable your process feels, the more premium your offer feels. Stability is luxury. Sometimes people tell me I am not multi-talented. I am good at one thing. In this era, depth still wins. But it wins faster when you stack a second skill on top. If you are a designer, pair it with teaching. If you write, pair it with analytics. If you coach, pair it with simple tech systems. Think of it as a ladder. Your deep skill is the strong side. Your supporting skills are the rungs that let you climb higher. You do not need to be great at everything. You need to be great at combining 2 abilities in a way that solves a specific problem. And if you are thinking, I am busy, I have kids, I have 2 jobs, I see you. You can still do this by playing a longer game with smaller steps. Choose one recurring block. Even 1 hour a week matters. Use that hour for the highest leverage action that moves you toward a sale. If your offer is not yet clear, your highest leverage action is talking to potential buyers. If your offer is clear, your highest leverage action is creating the smallest version and showing it to someone. If your offer is built, your highest leverage action is asking for the sale from one real person. There's always a highest leverage action. Choose it before the week begins. You will also need courage to put your work in the world before it feels ready. Ready is a mirage. What helps is a clear promise and a friendly tone. Your first landing page can be a short paragraph with 1 button. Your first message to a potential customer can be 4 lines. Here is the problem I solve. Here is how it works. Here is the price. Here is how to start. If you want a script, take this and make it yours. Hi, I help first-time renters keep more of their deposit. I built a simple kit with a checklist, photo script, and a short video. The kit is $79. If you want me to review your photos and flag missing shots before move out, it is $200. Want me to send the link? That is it. Clear, warm, respectful, easy to say out loud. What happens after your first sales? You keep going. You ask each buyer 1 question. What almost stopped you from buying? Their answers will tell you what to fix on your page and in your offer. You also ask what surprised you in a good way. Their answers will become your testimonials. Keep them simple. Short lines, real words, no jargon. Use initials if people want privacy. The best marketing is a grateful customer talking like a real person. By now, you might be wondering where to find those first buyers. Start with people you already know, but do not push. Tell them what you are building and ask who they know who might benefit. Join small online groups where your people gather. A renters group in your city. A Facebook group for restaurant owners, a Discord for first-gen grads in tech. When you show up, do not spam, be generous, answer questions, offer small help for free. Then share your offer when it is welcome. Generosity is not about working for free forever. It is about building trust so that when you do make an offer, it lands in warm soil. Let me close this section with a small story about momentum. Years ago, I watched a maker in Portland offer a 1-page redesign service for small shops, not a whole brand, 1 page. He priced it fairly and did the same steps every time. Intake, example pics, draft, revision. Publish, he shared before and after shots and thanked each client by name. Within a few months, he had a wait list. Nothing about his work was flashy. It was focused, kind, and consistent. People do not buy perfect, they buy progress. Offer them that. Before we finish, here's a one-page plan you can copy into your notes right now and follow for the next 4 weeks. Write down the problem you will solve in 1 sentence. Write down the outcome you promise in 1 sentence. Write down your minimum viable offer in 1 sentence. Write down your founder price and a higher price you will move to after 3 customers. Choose your 2 protected work blocks and put them on your calendar. Write a list of 10 people who might know your audience. Message 3 of them today. Build the first version in 3 sessions. Invite 3 people to buy in 1 session. Deliver and collect feedback in the next session. Turn your delivery steps into a checklist. Save your emails as templates. Raise your price by 20 to 30% in words, not the symbol, after your 3rd sale. Repeat. You may be thinking, can I really build something meaningful in 4 weeks? Yes, but not because of a magic trick, because constraint is your friend, because people value clarity, because the world is hungry for small, useful, trustworthy things that make life easier. Your project will not replace your job in a month. It is not supposed to. It will do something more important first. It will remind you that you are allowed to create money from your own mind, that your skills and your story have weight, that you can serve others and in serving change your own life. So here's your gentle push. Pick 1 problem tonight, draft your promise, choose your 2 work blocks, put them on the calendar, and tomorrow take the first step. When you feel doubt rise, remember this. Most people will not fail because they tried and fell short. They will fail because they never started. You do not need louder courage. You need a smaller first step. Take it. The rest will meet you on the way. If this inspired you, please give it a like, subscribe for more weekly insights, and share it with a friend who's on this journey with you. Thanks so much for being here. I truly appreciate you. See you in the next video.